Thurman, West Virginia. And before you cross over this single lane bridge, check your weight limit. Hey everybody, it's Mark the Lost Traveler, and we're ready to travel. Well, as the sign said earlier, today we're in Thurman, West Virginia, and I think since the last census, the population here is 7. So this is definitely a ghost town here, but there's a lot of history here, so we're gonna walk around and take a look at everything. One thing about a ghost town, it's nice and quiet. That end building is the National Bank of Thurman. A couple retail shops here. The New River Banking and Trust Company. Inside some of these buildings here, they give you some timelines and historical facts. And this one, hopefully the glare is not too bad, but this timeline starts in 1873 and goes to 1995. In 1873, Captain Thurman acquired 73 acres along the river. C&O tracks completed through the gorge. 1889, first loads of coal shipped from the C&O main line at Thurman. 1891, original depot and hotel Thurman built. 1903, Thurman Incorporated. 1908, major flood washed away the Thurman Bridge. 1910, Thurman ranked first in revenue receipts on the C&O main line. 1931, National Bank of Thurman failed. 1958, last steam locomotive operated in the New River Gorge. 1963, Lafayette Hotel, formerly the Hotel Thurman, burned. 1984, railroad office in Thurman Depot closed. 1993, engine house burned. And in 1995, National Park Service reopened the depot as a visitor center. This is the Dunglin Hotel. Something pretty interesting about this. It was built in 1901. It was 100 rooms, and it was located across the New River, and it thrived for 29 years. It had a ballroom, a theater, and a fine dining room. It also attracted weary travelers. It is known as a favorite social center up and down the line, and unfortunately it was destroyed back in 1930 to a fire. But according to the Guinness Book of World Records, this also has the record for the longest poker game, lasting 14 years. As you walk down these buildings, like I've been showing you, a lot of great information inside of all these things. Thurman, a railroad town. This was the New River Banking and Trust Company, along with a pharmacy. Well, here's what the building looked like back in 1904. And Dr. J. Ward Macon paid $4,000 for this 150 by 40 foot lot and then constructed this building. Dr. Macon organized the Macon Drug Company, which Mrs. Macon, a pharmacist and University of Maryland graduate, operated on the first floor. Dr. Macon ran a private medical practice, served as a physician for 4 mine operations, and was a surgeon for the C&O Railway Company. During the 1930s, the Thurman rail yard was still pretty active with steam engines. Periodic maintenance and repairs on the engines were made in the 250-foot-long engine house. The C&O Railway was one of the last railroads to change from steam to diesel in 1950s, and that changed Thurman forever. National Bank of Thurman. Check out some of these signs in the window here. Any amount starts an account. 3% interest on savings. Safety deposit box for rent. Another informational sign. Thurman's economy was so strong, it supported 2 banks with hundreds of thousands of dollars changing hands each year. Between 1910 and 1914, over 47 businesses contributed to Thurman's robust economy. The community developed into a major center for private enterprise, a rare thing in a region where coal companies often had a monopoly with individual towns. And as we pass the banks, the buildings that used to be here are long gone. the coaling station. The steam train rolls through Thurman in front of this coaling station built back in 1922. The tall tower could hold 500 tons of coal to resupply trains with fuel. No, 1922. Just a massive tower. Still have the tracks here. So trains pull in. Coal is dumped up there from them chutes. Pretty awesome structure. Right across from the coaling tower is the Thurman Town Hall. Like I said earlier, I think there's 7 people in this town, but if I find a local, which might be difficult, I'll ask to get the total population. And right next to that is a little, I guess, picnic area. Or you can sit out here and wait for some trains. There's a sign, "Welcome to Historic Thurman." Well, it looks like they might up their residency here. It looks like someone's building a new house. They're definitely going to have a great view of the trains going by. This was the house of Sid Chillers and Margie Richmond. There's a few roads leading up the mountain to other houses around here. You can see one there in the background. The one right here is the house that belonged to Marilyn Brown. Here's an interesting house. This house belonged to Fatty Lipscomb. I think I pronounced that right. See if I can get up here without killing myself. Wow, this is some house here. Says no trespassing, but it looks like some people got in because there's graffiti on the windows there. This must have been something back in the day. Beautiful house. Well, that end building is the bank, but this open area here back in 1902 was the Hotel Thurman. And then right next to that, I think this slab right here was the Armour Meatpacking Company back in 1903. Oh, this is pretty interesting. I don't think I'll go up there though. But then again, why not? Pretty steep. I don't know if I can make this. Oh, it's pretty steep. Almost there. Just a dead end, and it wants a door to something. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Back door to something, maybe a brothel or a secret hideout. Maybe. That's just my guess. The town was definitely close to the railroad tracks. The United States Post Office of Thurman, West Virginia, 25936. Thurman train depot. Opened in 1905. And inside there were 3 rooms, one for white men, one for white women, and one for African Americans. 1905, upstairs is where all the offices were at, and of course downstairs is where the passengers waited. Now it is a visitor center and museum. The visitor center and gift shop. Well, that was pretty cool visiting this ghost town, I guess, according to everybody. I imagine if you're less than 10 people, you're a ghost town. But it looks like they're going to try to revitalize this area. I was talking to a gentleman there over in the visitor center. So we'll see what happens. It might raise to maybe 9, 10, or 11 people. Then won't be much of a ghost town anymore. But a lot of interesting buildings and stuff to read about. So if you get a chance and you're near Thurman, West Virginia, come by and take a look. And on that note, traveler out.